Hey everyone, this is Tim Winters from UnionCounty Football, and today I have as my guest rising senior Ty Nicholas, the defensive lineman, 6'4", 265-pound stud that came onto the scene big time last year. Ty, good morning. Thanks for coming onto the show today.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having me.
What was your initial reactions when you heard all that news that came down at that time?
Well, at first I was shocked. I was like, I never thought that schools were going to be closing, and I never thought that we'd still be out. I thought we were like, well, we'll get a little 2-week break. We'll lift and run in the 2 weeks, and then we'll be able to just get right back into weightlifting and into football. Then I hear that they closed it for longer, and I was like, well, what are we going to do? So I figure, and our coaches have been helping on that front with what we're going to do, and they've just been a huge help with that.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. The school closing came down on March 14th. How soon after that did Coach Kaz and the rest of the coaching staff reach out to you and to the team as a whole?
Probably that day or a day later. They gave us a weight program the day after school closed that we can follow and get on. And then a couple weeks later, we had some online video stuff that we could watch and get and learn about our offense and our defense, learn about our playbook. We had quizzes on them to make sure that we watched them. And then we had a playbook up about a week after that.
Good. So accountability there with those quizzes.
Yes, sir.
Aside from the workouts, did Coach Kaz have any special message for you guys during this unique time period?
He said, work hard. We're going to have to – this is adversity is basically what he said. We're just going to have to work through it, make the best of what we have.
Gotcha. Now, so they set up a training regimen for you all. How soon after that initial time period when you spoke to the coaching staff and to Coach Kaz, how soon did you start implementing that routine?
That day. Yes, I was immediate. As soon as the email came through, I looked at it. I looked at it on Canvas in weightlifting, and I went and I got right on it as soon as I could.
So we did meet up the other day during one of your sessions. Can you just talk about what you do through your personal routine, how you go about your workout on a given day?
Well, what I do is, depending on whether it's an arm or a leg day, if it's an arm day, I'll do my arm workout, which lasts about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on what I'm hitting. And then I'll go to the field that we were at, and then I'll put about half an hour to an hour worth of work in. And then if it's a leg day, I'll do legs. I always warm up with abs and a little cardio workout. Then after I hit legs, I'll go run.
It's easy to motivate, I think, when you're in a group setting, team setting. How difficult has this been for you to motivate yourself over this period of time?
It's been more difficult than when I have my team around me. I mean, it's always a different environment in that weight room. We're all together having fun, pushing each other, trying to outdo each other in the weight room. That's always what we've done. And without that, you have to outwork yourself, which is a lot harder in itself, but we're managing.
In terms of your game specifically, what are you doing in this off season, this strange off season, to work on particular aspects of your game to get better?
I've been watching a lot of my film from last year and the year before, seeing what were my main points of what I need to improve, and I've been really hitting those hard. And then I've also been hitting a lot of agility, a lot of speed, work hard. Can never be too fast or too quick. I've been hitting the weight room extremely hard. I mean, I've been lifting as hard as I can lift because I need to get strong this year. I need to hit my numbers. So I decided I'm just going to commit to getting those things better in this off season so that when the season comes, I can be that much better of a player.
Well, that's a scary prospect for a lot of offensive linemen and quarterbacks out there. Last year, I mentioned early on your introduction that you really sprung onto the scene last year. 77 total tackles, 26 and a half of those were for a loss. And you had 8.5 sacks over a short period of time. You did not play the full season. You had, about 8 or 9 games that you got under your belt last year?
Yes, sir. 9 games.
So, you were tied with 8.5 sacks. You were tied for third in the county for the year, averaging just over about a sack a game. How did this all happen? Where did you come from sophomore to junior? Talk about that development and that improvement in your game.
Well, when I was a sophomore, I was a little heavier as a sophomore than I was, I think. And so I focused really on my junior year on that get off. I didn't emphasize it enough my sophomore year, but I emphasized it my junior year, and I emphasized the pass rush, and I emphasized the run game, really. I emphasized just getting off that ball and beating that offensive lineman, because I knew that if I can get my first 2 steps down, no matter what the play call is, I can win the play. So I just decided to really, really hit that and really focus on that. And my coaching staff helped me a lot. My players in practice pushed me. They all helped with that.
So those numbers obviously caught the eyes of a lot of folks out there, and you're just coming off an offer from Columbia University in New York. Congratulations, by the way, on that.
Thank you, sir.
Can you talk about how that all came about?
I've had a lot of help from Coach Kaz in the recruiting process. He's done so much for me in this recruiting process. He's been just awesome with it. I've been promoting myself as well, sending out some film, and Columbia came about. They had a talk with Coach Kaz, then had a talk with me, and I guess they liked what they saw.
Obviously. So, but you also had mentioned how Columbia all basically came about via the Sun Valley game.
Oh, yes, sir. He was on the phone. I was talking to the Columbia coach, and he told me, he said, well, we found you through Sun Valley. He said the Sun Valley coach spoke very highly of you, is what he told me.
So big shout out to the Sun Valley coaching staff on that.
Yes, sir.
Now, just switching off of the football and the workouts and everything, what are you doing to occupy your time with all this downtime afforded to you?
I've been studying the playbook, watching a lot of Netflix. I've been playing a lot of Xbox with my friends when I'm not working or running or studying my playbook. But I dedicate about half an hour to an hour every day in offense and defense.
What's your feeling as we start heading into late spring and summer? Obviously you want that football season to come around, but especially as a senior, just how important is, I know you wrestle, how important is that football and wrestling in your life as a student athlete?
As a student athlete, wrestling and football take up such a big part of my life. It's crazy. I think about football and wrestling almost every single day. And I work on them almost every single day. It'd be kind of crazy not to have a season. It's crazy not having an off season right now.
Right. Well, Ty, you sound like you've been doing great with your off season workouts, and you certainly will be on everybody's radar screen as a senior as we start entering into the fall and working through that season, and hopefully we will see a fall season, and definitely looking forward to seeing you out there with your team as you get into the 2020 campaign. Ty, I appreciate all the time you gave me this morning, and definitely look forward to seeing you out there in the fall.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks.